Taylor Gooch claims Tiger Woods was aware of LIV golf schedule. Gooch claimed that Woods was also aware of his membership on the Range Goat squad. And yes, this is the same Woods who has complained in the past year about LIV, which is supported by Saudi Arabia. Is there anything? Is it inexistent? Gooch's revelations, which he delivered this week on the For the People podcast, are potentially attention-grabbing at the very least. After all, it was Woods who expressed the following opinions about LIV at the Open Championship in 2017. As far as the players who have chosen to go to LIV and to play there, I disagree with it. Woods said at the Open Championship, "I think that what they've done is they've turned their back on what has allowed them to get to this position. I just don't see how that move is positive in the long term for a lot of these players, especially if the LIV organization doesn't get world ranking points and the major championships change their criteria for entering the events. It would be sad to see some of these young kids never get a chance to experience it and experience what we've got a chance to experience and walk these hallowed grounds and play in these championships." Thus, that is one aspect. Gooch is another, which he discussed on the show. So I have kind of a funny story. So at Augusta, one of the mornings I was warming up, Tiger was right next to me warming up. And he was like, "Man, you're with Bubba's team now, right?" And I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "You all are going to Adelaide, right?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Man, they got some great golf there." And then "Have you ever been to Singapore?" I was like, "Man, first time." And he's like, "Man, you need to go to the casino at Marina Bay Sands. It's the famous hotel casino here. You've all seen it for sure. It looks like there's a boat on top of 3 towers. It's this massive casino hotel. And the shops and everything." So anyways, Tiger's like, "First time I was in Singapore, I had to do this clinic there, right?" And he's like, "I got introduced to the guy who basically owns the Disney of Asia, and he had to be there for whatever reason. And so he's like, 'Hey, do you want to go get some dinner tonight? My favorite place in Singapore is at this hotel casino. And then, do you like to gamble at all?' And Tiger's like, 'A little bit.' And so he said, 'I want to teach you how to play baccarat.' And Tiger's like, we go over there and this guy starts out playing $1 million hands. And so Tiger's like, this was earlier in my career. I quickly learned the difference between being rich and being rich. You know, that's kind of encouraging to know that Tiger watches you all that much though, right? Because he knew that you were going to go to Australia. And that not just that he knew you were going to Australia, he knew the next event was in Singapore. And I guarantee you, if you were to ask 95% of golf fans, the week of the Masters where the LIV Tour was going the next 2 weeks in a row, there's no way they would have been able to tell you Australia and Singapore. So Tiger's paying attention. Tiger's paying attention a little bit.